Well, the Tennessee General Assembly wraps for the year, and there have been many major developments within the last week.
It certainly has. Joining us today is State Representative Karen Camper. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you all? It's good to be here.
Good to have you.
Look like a ray of sunshine there.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. You have been very busy. Hard to believe that the session is already wrapped up already.
Yeah.
One is pretty passionate for you. Let's talk about that. It is a bill that the governor just signed that sort of, look at that smile, protects the rights for women to have access to contraception and to fertility treatment. Why is this, you say, is long overdue?
Well, although it's legal, people can do it.
Yeah.
With all of the things that's been happening at the federal level with the Dobbs decision, women are really concerned, particularly those who are having a tough time having, a child and they want to do IVF. And so we thought it was important to enshrine it into the code, to go ahead and codify what's there so women don't have to be afraid. They can store fetuses because sometimes it takes more than one or two tries, and so they won't feel as if they might be criminalized for doing it. So it was a momentous occasion to, one, consider bringing it to the General Assembly, but secondly, to get it passed.
Okay, and these kind of procedures are expensive.
They are.
Yeah, but this bill doesn't require health insurance companies to provide coverage for fertility treatment or contraceptives. Do you agree with that?
Well, we didn't want to put into law that insurance have to do it.
Okay.
Insurance company, they do it now. And because insurance is individualized for families and what they can afford, we wouldn't want to put an unnecessary mandate on a private company.
Okay.
But most people have not had a problem with that. We just wanted to codify the fact that it's legal to do.
Right.
Your insurance can cover it, and the woman or family, really. We heard gentlemen testifying in favor of it, who family, had to benefit from it. So we want to make sure it was codified in law that no one is stressed over trying to do family planning.
Understood.
Very much so. Okay, let's switch gears here.
Okay.
Because it was a big talker for really a long time now. We're talking about the
It still is.
It still is. It still is. And there's still some things to be talked about to figure out what could come up in the future. So we've got you here to talk about the MSCS oversight law that did not pass.
It did not.
This particular session.
It did not.
Can you talk about what that would have meant and your thoughts on that bill coming forward?
Well, it's interesting because there was two distinct versions of what people thought should be the case. The one in the House, I felt, was very heavy-handed. It was like you go into the most extreme measure, off the top, which you don't have no way to back from. In the Senate gave a lot more leniency to locals to be involved. The mayor could be involved. The mayor could appoint. You have the county commission involved. You have everybody really working together. Obviously, we couldn't come to a compromise on it, so both bills in their current status are basically held on the desk in both chambers. Okay. Now, the reason I was so vehemently against it is because I do think that although you may have a problem with how an elected board made a decision, it was their decision to make. And they probably had reason that we have no idea about. And so oftentimes we see something and we begin to make decisions about things that we don't really know the full understanding of. So I was glad it was paused from that perspective. Secondly, the speaker really wanted to do a forensic audit. Take a look, dig down deep, see what's going on. And I told him, okay, let's do that, because you'll get an opportunity to see exactly all the great things that is going on here in Memphis and Shelby County, and then your perception of what you think is real is gone. So, they put it off. We got the forensic audit. The money was appropriated, so July 1st, the money will be, funded, and we'll begin to, I think they've already done an RFP to get an independent, because it'll be an independent audit that's done. It won't be the state doing it. Now, the comptroller obviously has a role, but it's going to be an independent audit, and that part is taking place. And I think that's good. I think that's great for the school system.
And after the audit, what happens then?
Generally,
generally
with an audit, especially something of this nature, there's a report back to the General Assembly, and in that, not only do it disclose what the findings were, but also recommendations.
Okay.
So now if you're talking about coming into a system because you believe you need to be here, the audit should give you things that you need to actually do versus what you think you ought to do. So the audit may say, well, you just need to make these few adjustments, or you may need to do this, versus a bill that's expanding charter schools and all the stuff that he was doing that had nothing to do.
Right.
That's tends to how it works.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that the findings out of there will be recommended back to us, legislation that we could propose, good policy either for us or even at the local level. Maybe some policy recommendations for them.
Very good. We'd love to talk more.
I know.
Unfortunately, time's up. But thank you so much for coming in, Representative Karen Camper. Really glad to have you with us today.
You too.
All right.
And thank you for your patience last week.
No problem. Things happen.
God is good.
Things happen. We understand. And you can go back and catch any interviews from A Better Memphis on actionnews5.com. Just click A Better Memphis in the bar at the top of our homepage. And here's what's coming up Monday. The executive director of Memphis Allies will join us to talk about the work they do in our communities. And the interim director of Memphis Animal Services will be here to give us an update on the current workings and happenings at MAS.